Today I'm going to be cleaning this BMW 330e and applying protection to all the exterior surfaces on this car. I'm going to be demonstrating plenty of products, some of which have been sent by a few different brands to review on the channel, and all of which I'm going to be giving my honest opinions on them as I'm using them. The first thing I did on this car was pre-wash the wheels using Gloss Force, and it removed the vast majority of brake dust and grime on these wheels to make the contact wash as safe as possible. The next thing I did was just clean the arches and the tyres. So in the arches I used the Easy Go brush combined with Green Star APC at 10%. And then for the tyres I used Decon tyre cleaner. Now I do quite like this one. It is ready to use, so not the most economical product in the world, but it does definitely draw out a lot of grime from the tyres that a lot of products aren't capable of doing, and cleans them in a single hit in most cases. The only other ready to use tyre cleaner that I have tried is Autocon's Rebound, and I have to say I do probably prefer that one, as it seems to have a little bit more kick to it for really dirty tyres, and it also foams up a little bit more, making it just a bit more enjoyable to use. I then used Detail Bug Mantis at 1:4 to clean the alloy faces and the barrels, and this had no trouble whatsoever shifting the remaining brake dust. It's a very capable cleaner, and I find that because it's dilutable, it does offer great value for money as well. So I have found myself using this product quite a lot recently. To kick off the pre-wash, I used Gloss Force on all the lower sections of this car where there was more build-up of traffic film and also a lot of bugs stuck on from some motorway journeys. I have found this product to be very potent and effective. The downside is that it's ready to use, so of course it's not as economical as those dilutable products, but it's a good one to try if you aren't a fan of measuring out your products and just want something that's really quick and effective. I then layered Squid Ink Alcafroth at a 1:10 ratio in the foam cannon over the top of the pre-wash to extend that dwell time just a little bit more. I got up pretty early to do this car, so it wasn't really warm at this point, but I knew it was going to be a hot day, so the risk of the chemicals drying out was a little bit higher than usual. However, as well as being a really capable cleaner, this snow foam does have a very long dwell time as well, so it's one of those products where I don't have to worry as much or rush as much when I'm cleaning the car when the weather is a little bit warmer. The panels were all still cool on this car, so I did manage to get away with a 10-minute dwell time, which I was very pleased with, and that was more than enough for these two chemicals to remove pretty much all the dirt and grime off this car and make it as safe as possible for that contact wash. In the bucket today, I'm using G3 Pro's shampoo. In terms of the dilution ratio, I don't think the instructions are as specific as they could be. It says to put a few capfuls, but it is a flip cap design, so you do have to kind of guess. On this occasion, I went for 25ml into my 20 litre bucket, and I actually found that this was probably spot on for the product. It felt really, really nice and slick, and the stability of the foam in the bucket as well was very good. And it's definitely up there with some of the nicer ones that I have used, so I am looking forward to giving this one a go again. Once I'd been over the car with a wash pad, I then went into some of the more intricate areas using the GB detailing brush, topped up with a little bit of that Green Star APC. Luckily at this point it had become quite overcast, so it was safe to proceed with a chemical decon stage, which I was really hoping to do on this car. So following the contact wash, I did rinse and dry off the vehicle, as the chemicals are more effective when used on a dry surface. I then used Autocon's tar and glue remover to remove some of the tar spots that were particularly prevalent behind the wheels, and it didn't have any trouble whatsoever at removing them in a single hit, and reacted very quickly. I found that the tar spots were able to be wiped away after around 30 seconds. I then moved on to the iron fallout removers, and I've actually got two chemicals on show today from ADBL, which were kindly sent by a distributor of the brand called ABP Autocare. So the difference between these iron fallout removers is that one has a gel-like consistency and the other has sort of loose liquid consistency. As you can see here, I did have a slight issue when using the gel-like product. Even when I was using the fan setting on the trigger rather than the stream setting, the product was just dispensed in a single jet. So getting even coverage was really, really difficult without using tons of the product. I do think that this product needs to come with a better trigger head, otherwise it just takes too long to cover a decent area and requires too much of the product. I then switched over to the liquid ADBL fallout remover and had a much better experience using that product. It was far easier to get even coverage and it didn't require nearly as much of the chemical. It also reacted very quickly, which I was happy with, and I could see those purple spots lighting up as quickly as 30 seconds after application. To remove any potential residue from the previous two chemicals, and to make sure there was no protection left on this car, I used the Garage Therapy Decon shampoo at a 1:10 ratio in the foam cannon, left it to dwell for about 5 minutes and then rinsed it off. I didn't do a full decontamination on this car by claying it, as I didn't want to inflict any marring that I didn't have time to remove by polishing it. However, as this is a relatively new car, the paintwork did still feel very smooth. In order to quickly add some protection to these wheels, I used Bouncer's Bead Juice, which is a spray and rinse sealant. That can also be used dry, but this is a far quicker application method. I used my Blow Air RS car dryer to blast water out of the grille, headlights and also the door mirrors on this car. I then just used a microfiber drying towel to mop up the water from the panels. In order to prepare this car for the glass coating, I used CarPro Seriglass Polish on a hand applicator by Knockout 3D. to remove any water spots or chemical stains to make sure the glass was squeaky clean before applying that coating to maximise the lifespan of it. This glass polish does dry out reasonably quickly and can be a little bit tough to remove, so I find that using a panel wipe solution, and in this case the Garage Therapy one, to help remove it is beneficial. I protected all the windows on this car using the Pyramid Car Care carbon glass coating, and it's version 2 of this product that I'm using here. If you've seen my previous video on a Volkswagen Up, you'll know that I also applied it to that car as well, and it's actually performing really well so far, so I'm hoping that this will be beneficial for the owner of this car as well. To coat the windows using this product, you simply apply a little bit onto the applicator that's provided, work it in using a crosshatch pattern, and then after around 15 to 20 seconds it's ready to buff off. The paintwork was pretty well prepped for the protection that I was going to be applying, but in order to go that little bit step further to maximise the longevity of it, I did go over it quickly with the Garage Therapy panel wipe solution to remove any oils or residues that may be still left on the surface. To protect the paintwork on this car, I'm using a product that I am very excited to show you, and this is Garage Therapy's Alpha Wax. Now, for those of you who follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I did do some testing with the development version of this product and had some great results with it. It's designed to last for around 6 months and has outstanding water behaviour and a really nice darkening effect and tons of gloss, which you'll see at the end of the video. The paintwork on this car was in pretty good condition, however there were some minor swirl marks and defects that I did notice prior to waxing the car, and the wax did actually a really good job at filling those to the point where the paintwork looked pretty much immaculate by the time that I'd finished. In terms of application, it has a relatively short cure time of 3 to 5 minutes, and as long as you stick to that, this is a very easy product to use. You don't need much on the applicator to spread a considerable area. Buffing it off is very easy if you do stick to that recommended cure time. If you leave it on for a bit too long, then it does become grabby, so I definitely would be mindful of it, and don't coat the entire car and then buff it all off at the end. It was quite a warm day when I was working on this car, so I did have to move it about a little bit in order to get some shade on it to make sure that the panels were cool. So the conditions weren't really ideal for applying this product, but I didn't have any issues with it whatsoever. To dress the tyres, I used Detail Bug's Bug to Black. It took a little bit more working in than usual, as I've noticed that Pirelli tyres do tend to have a very smooth sidewall, which does kind of slow down how quickly the rubber absorbs the product, but once it was worked in properly, it left a really nice finish.